Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. The ancient Middle East region is undoubtedly one of the most captivating areas in the world, especially for those with a deep interest in sacred scriptures and the history of the peoples who inhabited it, including Arabs and Jews, as well as various other cultures that shared this region. In this video, I will discuss the 12 tribes of Ishmael, where they were located, and who they were in ancient times. I invite all of you to support the video with your likes and share it with those who, like you, want to deepen their knowledge of the scriptures. Enjoy more content from our channel, the 12 tribes of Ishmael, what they didn't tell you about them. Normally, people are accustomed to discussing the 12 tribes of Israel, descendants of Jacob, the son of Isaac and the grandson of Abraham. However, have you ever heard of the 12 tribes of Ishmael? Ishmael was the firstborn son of Abraham, and his story and lineage are often less known. In this video, I will explore the 12 tribes of Ishmael based on archaeological findings and available information. Many people are familiar with the story of Abraham and his desire to have a son, as reported in the Bible. Initially, Abraham had a son with his servant, known as Hagar, who was also called the Egyptian slave. This son was named Ishmael, known as Yishmael in Aramaic and Ishmael in Hebrew. Later, Abraham had another son named Isaac, who in Hebrew and Aramaic is called Yik. Isaac, in turn, was the father of two sons, Esau and Jacob, the latter also known as Israel. Israel had 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of the Israelites. However, due to a lack of in-depth knowledge of the sacred scriptures of the Bible, many people, when asked about the peoples of the Middle East beyond the Jews, often believe that all Arabs are descendants of Ishmael. However, Arabs are a diverse group and include descendants of Ishmael, as well as other Semitic peoples connected to different biblical figures. The descendants of Ishmael are located in the Middle East, but the region is not only home to his descendants. There are also other Semitic peoples related to biblical figures such as the descendants of Abraham and Keturah. We have a video about the descendants of Abraham and Keturah if you are interested. There are also the descendants of Esau and the descendants of Lot, among others. Therefore, the Middle East is inhabited by various Semitic communities that descend from different biblical figures, not limited solely to the descendants of Ishmael. Ishmael is a prominent figure in Abrahamic religious traditions, playing a significant role in the genealogy and history of the tribes bearing his name. According to the biblical and Islamic narrative, Ishmael was the firstborn of Abraham, the common patriarch of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. His mother was Hagar, an Egyptian servant of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Ishmael's story begins in a context of rivalry and family tensions, as Hagar conceived Ishmael after Sarah, who was barren, allowed Abraham to have a child with the servant. Thus, Ishmael was the result of Sarah's concession, Abraham's desire to have a son and heir. As religious traditions diverge in certain aspects, Ishmael is often remembered as a descendant of Abraham who would play a crucial role in the history of Arab tribes. His name, in Hebrew, means, God will hear, alluding to the divine promise that Ishmael would be blessed and become the father of a great nation. For Muslims, he is a particularly important figure as it is believed he played a role in the construction of the Kaaba, the holiest site in Islam in Mecca. Thus, Ishmael's story is a pivotal point of convergence among the three major monotheistic religions, and its cultural and religious implications resonate throughout the history of the Ishmaelite tribes. The biblical record about Ishmael states that God promised Abraham that Ishmael would have 12 sons and become a great nation, as described in the book of Genesis. Later, in the same book, in chapter 25, verses 13 to 15, the names of Ishmael's 12 sons are presented, which are Nebaioth, Kedar, Adil, Mibsam, Mishma, Dumah, Masa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. Princes of Israel and the 12 tribes of Israelite descent, along with the tribes of Ishmaelite descent, inhabited a vast region that extended from Havilah in Egypt to Shur in Assyria. However, the Ishmaelite tribes were not the only Semitic communities in the Middle East region. In addition to them, there were other Semitic peoples, including the Midianites, who were brothers of the Ishmaelites. There were also 5 other tribes descended from Abraham through his union with Keturah, not to mention the Edomites. Initially, the Ishmaelites and the Midianites appear to have had close ties, even being counted together in genealogies. However, over the course of history, the 12 tribes and the 12 sons of Ishmael followed distinct paths. The Ishmaelite tribes historically settled in a vast geographical region that encompassed parts of the Middle East and North Africa. The primary area of concentration for the Ishmaelite tribes was the Arabian Peninsula, which includes most of Saudi Arabia, as well as parts of Yemen, Oman, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates. This desert region was a challenging environment, but the Ishmaelite tribes adapted to a nomadic way of life, finding means of survival in the arid desert and its surrounding areas. In addition to the Arabian Peninsula, the Ishmaelite tribes also spread to the Sinai Peninsula, located between Egypt and Israel, and to parts of the Levant, including what is now Jordan and Syria. Their geographic influence even extended to North Africa, in areas such as Sudan. This wide geographical distribution reflects the historical migrations and movements of the Ishmaelite tribes over the centuries. Now, let's explore some lesser-known information about the descendants of Ishmael according to the biblical account. The biblical text informs us that Nebaioth was Ishmael's firstborn son, making him the eldest. The name Nebaioth references a prophet, as indicated in the book of Genesis, where it is stated that he would be the father of 12 princes. In Aramaic, Nebaioth means prophecy or simply of prophecy. Available information about Nebaioth reveals that in the Bible, the tribe of Kedar, also a descendant of Ishmael, along with the tribe of Nebaioth, gained prominence in sheep breeding, as mentioned in Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 7. The names of Kedar and Nebaioth are frequently found in ancient Assyrian records. The historian Josephus identified the Nabateans of his time as descendants of Ishmael's eldest son, Nebaioth. He stated that the Nabateans inhabited a vast region that extended from the Euphrates River to the Red Sea. This region became known as Nabatia, the land of the Nabateans. The historian Flavius Josephus also mentions that he obtained information about these people directly from the Nabateans, as he had the opportunity to interact with this group. An interesting curiosity is that the Nabateans spoke the Nabatean language, which was a variant of Aramaic. The tribe of Kedar is often mentioned in Assyrian records, including accounts from Tiglath-Pileser and other Assyrian kings. Tiglath-Pileser III was an important Assyrian king who ruled from approximately 745 to 727 BC. He is known for his conquests and reforms that had a significant impact on the Assyrian Empire and the history of the ancient Near East. Both the Kedarite and Nebaioth tribes were primarily composed of merchants. They were engaged in the trade of spices, ceramics, and similar products. As for the tribe of Adil, it is often identified as the tribe of Idabielu, originating from the land of Arubu, which became subject to Tiglath-Pileser in 744 BC. Idabielu was the Aramaic form of the Nabatean name, which, when translated into English, would be similar to Abdallah. According to historians, the tribe of Idabielu inhabited the region of the Sinai Peninsula. Now, regarding the tribe of Mibsam, according to some historians, there is an intriguing question: did the descendants of Mishma play a significant role in the founding of villages near Jebel Mishma? There is speculation about the possibility of these two tribes having some form of association, perhaps through marriages or mergers, with the tribe of Simeon from the Israelite people. It's noteworthy that relevant information in this regard is recorded in Chronicles, chapter 4, verses 24 and 27. This suggests that the two tribes may have intermingled with the descendants of Simeon when they were in the land of Egypt, which makes sense considering the abundance of resources in that region. Furthermore, some believe that the tribe of Mibsam simply integrated and eventually disappeared from history due to their fusion with the tribe of Simeon. As for the tribe of Dumah, biblical records mention that Dumah was a city in Canaan, as described in Joshua 15 verse 52, and it is also associated with Edom and Seir in Isaiah 21 verse 11. Historians generally identify Dumah as being related to the people of Arabian Edomites, which would be the tribe of Dumah itself. In one account, Esarhaddon described how his father, Sennacherib, faced the capital of Edomites in his attempt to subdue the Ishmaelite tribes, the Arabs, calling it a stronghold of the Arabs. Sennacherib captured Hazael, the king of Edomites, who is also referred to as the king of the Arabs. Furthermore, an inscription of Assurbanipal mentions Hazael as the king of the Kedarites. This suggests that the Ishmaelite tribes had a paramount king, though they may have also had their own tribal leaders. As for the tribe of Masa, records from Tiglath-Pileser III mention the inhabitants of Masa and the honor accorded to Tema. At the top of Jebel Gunaim, located about 14 kilometers south of Tema, archaeologists Winnett and Reed discovered some graffiti texts that mention the Masa tribe in connection with Dedan and Nebaioth, which were other tribes of Ishmaelite descent. Regarding the tribe of Hadad, some historians speculate that this tribe may have become known as Harar or the Hararina people, who resided near the mountains northwest of Palmyra. As for the tribe of Tema, this is generally associated with the ancient oasis of Tema, located northeast of the Hijaz district, on the trade route between Tathrib, Medina, and Dumah. The Nafud Desert lies between Tema and Dumah. The present-day city of Tema, at the southwestern tip of the vast Nafud Desert, is believed to have been built upon the ruins of the ancient oasis of Tema. It is possible that the descendants of Tema or Tema inhabited this region. Tiglath-Pileser III received tribute from Tema, as well as from other Arabian kingdoms and tribes, in his ancient Assyrian records. As for the tribes of Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema, it is believed that the descendants of Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema actually formed a united group, including the Hagarines, who, it is worth noting, are descendants of Hagar and not of Ishmael. This distinction is important. These tribes are located in the Transjordan region. Besides the Transjordan, there is a belief that the tribe of Kedema may have been associated with the Kenite or even intermixed with the Kenite. For example, Caleb, Joshua's famous friend, could have been an Ishmaelite of that lineage. This is the information available about these 12 tribes of Ishmael that formed tribes in the Middle East. Today, Ishmaelites in general are located in various regions, including Egypt, the Gulf of Aqaba, and the Sinai Peninsula. In particular, many Ishmaelites from various tribes inhabit this land. Furthermore, there is a significant presence of Ishmaelites in Saudi Arabia, in part due to the blending of Ishmaelites with the descendants of Midian. It's worth remembering that Midian is located in Saudi Arabia, and the Midianites are descendants of Midian, one of the sons that Abraham had with Keturah, who also inhabited the region. If you are already familiar with the tribes of Ishmael, please leave a comment below. And please share your ideas for future videos. If you wish, we can create a video about the 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you all. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications to receive our future videos. See you soon.